All right, so it looks like Tesla will actually fly. I'm not talking about Tesla to the moon. I'm talking about an actual Tesla actually flying. I doubted this for a while, but it actually seems like a reality. So let me talk about this. Now, obviously, I'm a bit of an Elon fanboy, a bit, right? We have a good amount of Tesla holdings. This is 670 shares in this account. And then in Robinhood, I think another 400, which makes up a market cap of 600 or something like that. Of course, we're up pretty well in this account. And then the Robinhood was even lower. I got in at an even lower price. So I think overall percentage gain in that is much higher. But look, this is roughly 20% of my portfolio when you include the Robinhood holdings. And a lot of my investment in Tesla is based on how they approach problems and how they think different. So I'll get to the flying car in a second here, but they just kind of think different. And it's a process that I think is something that I value a lot. It's what Elon is doing. So what is he thinking so differently about? Well, on his Twitter account, probably, which is responsible for now like 10% of all Twitter traffic for this last week with Bitcoin and Doge and now his flying car. Let's talk about what's going on. So this is about the Roadster. The Roadster, it looks like it's going to go 0 to 60 in 1.1 seconds. 1.1 seconds, is it true? Elon, yes, with the SpaceX rocket thruster option package. SpaceX rocket thruster package, all right? This is an actual rocket thruster that SpaceX uses, or the similar technology that SpaceX, the rocket company, uses. On the back, right behind the license plate, it will be safe and very intense, not wise for those with a medical condition. Same as a hardcore roller coaster. And in doing this, it will actually potentially hop. All right, so it will actually potentially fly. So Elon has always kind of made fun of flying cars, and he said, I've always made fun of them, and now I'm making one. Fate loves irony. So the idea of how he thinks different is not that he saw the Jetsons and was like, oh, a flying car would be cool. Instead, Elon's thinking, how can I improve the performance of this and use a technology that no other car has ever even thought of really using, which is like a rocket thruster, maybe in the cartoons or something like that. But he worked from first principles. So this is an approach that he has used over and over again to approach problems. The idea of first principles is this thing that allows you to think different. And if we wanted to look at companies and products that we didn't really expand on and evolve, see, once you get into drawn black and white pictures, not even drawn color pictures, you know things have been around for a while. These are the inventors of the internal combustion engine, which we have not changed dramatically. I mean, yeah, there's been improvements, but I mean, this is more than 100 years. It was first invented in around 1860, so let's call it the modern internal combustion engine 100 years ago. And we haven't evolved from this. And it took Elon to really push this into mainstream with electrical cars or EVs, all right? So when I think about Tesla, I think about this idea of first principles. And this is how Elon approaches problems and how Tesla approaches problems and comes up with unique solutions. So the idea of first principles, which Elon is a super fan on, is this idea that a first principle is a foundation or a proposition that stands alone. We cannot deduce first principles from any other proposition or assumption. Basically what this means is if you want to solve a problem and you want to solve it to the best of its ability with the most creativity and not having any other biases, the best way to do that is to unpack it completely and start from scratch. Not just start with, oh, well, you know, what is kind of solving this solution? How can we kind of put something together? You might think like, maybe Tesla should have created a hybrid car. Well, that was kind of not the solution, right? They go straight to what the solution of any problem is. So Elon has been great at this. It was first used by the philosopher Aristotle, pretty OG philosopher. Elon Musk and Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's business partner. So First principles allows you to really think different and stop iterating and marginally improving a technology, instead finding ways to dramatically improve it. And this goes to Tesla's approach in so many things, and why they're so unique about how they approach problems is they don't base things on past assumptions. They try to start from scratch. And when I think about investing in Tesla, what I think about is not just the future and how we're moving towards a more sustainable future and yada yada, and people want to drive electric cars, but I think about the person behind it and the philosophy of that person. So for Tesla, it's not just one person, okay? Elon is a leader and has built a team and a culture around these principles, but as a leader alone, he's charismatic, he's a genius, and he's actually a good leader, which could by itself, individually, these three things could be helpful. Also, there's a transition to sustainable energy as a brand. So Tesla is a company that is kind of going in the right direction of how we value companies and the branding, and if it has a good name to it. Luxury is something that Tesla started off right? They started off with the most expensive vehicle, and that helped them create this luxurious and high-end feel. Even when they release a $20,000 Model 2, that's still going to have that sense of, I'd rather buy a Tesla Model 2 than a Volkswagen or a Honda EV, right? It has a much higher sense, even if the pricing and even if the quality is below those. They started with the most expensive, they went down. Now, there was other reasons, obviously, for this. They needed to raise enough money to build the next thing, and they could only do mass market once they have the technology, and the only point of doing mass market would be when they can offer it at a price that has a economy of scale with the costs. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in there, but the benefit is that they started high, and that allows them to have that luxurious brand to them. There's also this economics of transportation, right? The economics of transportation is that, well, things are going to be, it's actually going to be cheaper to have a sustainable source like electricity that maybe can be renewable energy instead of oil, which we know is going to eventually be gone, and the prices are going to continue to go up as the oil supply goes down. And Tesla's better by design. Having a battery pack at the bottom of the car allows the car to stick to the road, have some sporty feel, allows the lack of an engine in the front, has a crumple zone, which makes it safer. The ability for electric to turn energy into torque so much better, so it can be faster. There's so much that goes into a better by design model that Tesla has. And of course, one of the biggest, most powerful things is that we're basically merging Tesla as, let's say, Silicon Valley, and merging that with an industry ripe for innovation. So we're a software Silicon Valley company going into a car business, which is like a ancient business, right? There hasn't been a successful car company in America for like 100 years that's actually reached actual production. And why is this so powerful? It's so powerful because software is eating the world. This was a post on Mark Andreessen's blog, who is known for his amazing investments that he's made. But basically the idea, and you should read this, is that technology is going to rule the world. And this has kind of proven to be true. And this article is actually when technology was like undervalued. So Apple had a PE ratio of 15, low price per earnings ratio. And obviously now things are a bit different with technology being maybe overvalued, but we see how powerful technology now is. And there's no other company that has that Silicon Valley, Tesla's actually in Silicon Valley, but has that Silicon Valley origin and approaching problems with software and technology for an industry that is not used to that. I mean, that's a huge opportunity. So those are some of the qualitative reasons that I own Tesla and my kind of thesis on an overall idea of Tesla's value and their position for maybe a little bit of the future. And if you want to look quantitatively and do technical analysis, please make sure that you are zooming out, right? It's so easy to like look at maybe technical analysis and try to get fancy on, things that are, you can see little charts and trends and things like that, but in the end, you have to understand the macro and the bigger principles that are fueling the future rather than if their Q2 is going to be profitable because of the price of Bitcoin at the time, right? Those things do not matter. So let me know in the comment section if you appreciate this video, if you thought it was interesting. or you want just more strict investment content and not deep diving into companies like Tesla, which I'm obviously a fan. It's my #1 individual stock holding. So for me, it's super relevant, but maybe for you at least it's interesting. Let me know. And since you watched till the end, consider subbing, because you just keep watching my videos, but you ain't subbing, so just do it. Like this video, and I'll talk to you soon. See you later, everyone.